Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to be talking about season 2 of the show Love Victor. Fun fact, Love Victor takes place in the same universe as the movie Love Simon, and Love Simon was adapted from a book called Simon versus the Homo Sapiens Agenda. This season came out in 2021 and stars Michael Cimino, George Sear, and Anthony Turpel. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. Love Victor Season 2 deals with the aftermath of Victor coming out to his parents as gay and also dealing with his parents' separation. In this show, we see Victor navigating through life and trying to understand where he fits in while also managing his relationship with his boyfriend Benji, as their relationship is tested by his family as well as a potential new love interest. In the show, we see all of Victor's friends also have different things going on in their lives, but they're also trying to support Victor in his journey as well. This show is a coming of age story filled with comedy and romance and a little hint of sadness. If you are a fan of Love Simon, Sex Education, or Never Have I Ever, then I suggest that you give Love Victor a try. I love that Love Victor is telling the story of a Hispanic kid dealing with coming out as gay to his religious family and showing the outcomes of that while also showing how he's in love. I feel like this show is a different story that we usually don't see on TV. And so I thought it was really interesting and important for us to see these different stories because it offers different perspectives and you learn a little bit more about something that you may not have known about before. This show highlighted that when people come out, everyone's reaction is not going to be the same, especially dealing with the people in your family. We see in the show how his mom is really struggling to accept him. And over the season, we definitely see her make strides to grow. But on the other hand, we see his dad, who immediately after Victor comes out is trying his hardest to accept him and learn more about, what he's into and learning more about how to be a supportive parent. It was interesting to see him learning to accept himself this season. In the beginning of the season, we see him really struggling, trying to figure out where he belongs. But as the season progresses, he finds out that there's no right way to be gay. He just needs to be himself. I love how this show shows Victor as the main character and how we see all the issues that he's dealing with, but it also highlights that his friends are dealing with issues as well. I thought it was really interesting to see these different storylines with his friends as well and see how they're juggling those situations and trying to manage their lives. One storyline that stood out for me was a storyline about Felix and his mom. It's a sad story, but it's also one that shines a light on mental health. I thought that this storyline was interesting because it brought up this idea that you really don't know what's going on with people behind closed doors. And it showed how people may be struggling even though they have a smile on their face. Felix was trying his hardest to help deal with his mom, but he was really struggling. I like how Lake had Felix's best intentions in mind when she told her mom about Felix's situation. I know that in the show it shows how Felix was mad, but I think it also showed how Lake really cared and she was really just trying to help. She saw that he was barely making it by and decided that she wanted to try to do something, knowing that her mom had a little bit more influence. I did love Victor and Felix's friendship throughout this season. There were often times where they helped each other figure out what they actually wanted, and they always supported each other. Felix was my favorite character this season. He's the weird one in the group, but I love how he always stays true to himself, and he has this comedic side that's kind of funny. I love to see his storyline as well with his mom, and we learn a little bit more about him and what his true motivations are. Pilar liking Felix was definitely something I was caught off guard with. I thought that they were just going to be friends and they were going to be super close, and I was completely wrong because you see her starting to have feelings for Felix. And I thought it was nice, but like for me, I always try to like figure out what's going to happen, and I just did not see that one coming. It was interesting to see Victor and Benji's relationship this season and how it was basically a roller coaster. There were different issues throughout the season, and it's not issues that were more specific to one party or the other, but it's definitely something that wasn't addressed properly between the two, and then all their issues kind of just blow up in the end. One thing that made me mad about their relationship is when Victor told Raheem about Benji being in AA because they were fighting at the time. I knew that once Victor said something about Benji being in AA, it was going to get back around to Benji somehow, and it wasn't going to be good. Like, this was the one thing Benji was super insecure about talking about. He didn't even tell Victor, really. Victor happened to find out from Benji's parents. And I knew that it was going to get back to Benji, and everything with their relationship was going to fall apart from there. I do think this season it would have been nice for Benji, Victor, and Raheem to just be friends on the show. I didn't think that Victor needed like another love interest. I think it would have been great to focus on him and Benji's relationships and maybe seeing them overcome their struggles and, maybe picking up Raheem as a friend along the way as someone, who may need a little bit of help or guidance or just really just needed some friends who understood his experiences. It was cool how Mia and Victor were able to remain friends after, she found out that Victor was gay while they were dating. I thought that Mia was just such a kind-hearted and nice person this season, and I felt like she really just wanted what was best for everyone. I thought the storyline with her hanging out with the college kid was really weird. Like, she told him that she was in high school, and his response was like, oh, I just turned 18, like if it was normal. Like, no, go date someone in college. I thought it was very predatory for him to be like going after this high schooler. I feel like throughout this season, we see Mia and she's just kind of like vibing, but she's also trying to figure out where she belongs. I love how by the end of this season, she is still happy for everyone's happiness, but also realizes that she needs to find her own happiness as well. I love that we get to see characters from Love Simon in this show. We see Simon, who is trying to help Victor with all of his little daily struggles and answer any questions that he has. And then in this season, we also get to see Simon's dad, who is leading a group of parents who are trying to understand their kids and accept them. Fingers crossed that this show gets to season 3 and somehow we get a Jennifer Gardner cameo as well. Also, I don't understand how Simon is so nice to Victor. Like, no hate towards Victor, but he messages Simon so much on the show. It would drive me crazy if someone kept messaging me so much about every aspect and asking so many questions. But I love that Simon is always there to help and offer, like a nice solution when he can. But Victor needs to chill a little bit and just take a breather and relax. My favorite scene in this season is when Victor's mom stands up to the priest. It's a scene in which you realize that Victor's mom is now very accepting of Victor and understands kind of what he's going through and his different struggles and how she's a part of that. I think it's a great scene because it also is a scene in which she lets the priest know that Victor is going to be loved by God no matter who he decides to love, and the priest can't tell her any different. I thought it was great to see like her character grow throughout this season and how, it wasn't easy for her to accept Victor in the beginning, but eventually she comes around and she, knows in her heart that Victor is still going to be loved by not only his family, but also by God. Love Victor is a great show filled with some very heartfelt storylines and a great cast with some newcomers as well as some veteran actors. I thought that it was a great show to highlight something that we typically don't see in shows, and I hope that we get a season 3 because the show ended on a cliffhanger. If you have not seen Love, Victor, I suggest that you go and watch it on Hulu. Thank you for watching my video. I would love to hear your thoughts down below in the comments. If you have not subscribed, please do so you can keep up to date with more of my videos. But besides that, everyone stay safe, have fun, and goodbye.